Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
The Phillies scored a run. You heard that correctly. The Phillies scored a run. Not one, not two, not three, 4 runs, and they win the damn baseball game. It felt good. It felt good to win. I know that there are some things we're still upset about. We did not like the fact that they could not get as many hits with runners in scoring position as we would love. But Edmundo Sosa, are you serious with that effort? Thor, he settled in big time. I love the usage of the curveball when he mixed it in there, and then the comfortability with a lot of his repertoire, but I like the sinker usage as well, and maybe a part of this version of Noah Syndergaard. And trust me, we are fully aware of how much he is working on his game with the Phillies organization, and they absolutely are tweaking some things. When you get ahead in the count, when you throw a ton of strikes, when your velocity is even a tick up too, you know, you're going to see this Noah Syndergaard if he keeps it together after a couple innings of maybe some discomfort. That seems to be the common theme with him, which is slow start, guys get a couple hits, there's a few base runners, maybe a run or two scores, but he works himself out of it, and then a couple innings in a row, it's nothing but poetry. It's nothing but a breaking pitch that's fooling hitters. He threw it in there once in a blue moon, and bang, it was great. And it helps when you have a defensive effort like you did with Edmundo. Are you kidding me? And I thought at the time that the lineup dropped, I saw Alec Boehm being the DH. So, of course, as I'm scanning the rest of the roster and everybody else whose number was there, I was wondering what was going. Oh, that's right, Edmundo Sosa. That's sort of me walking through my brain and what was kind of happening when I was reading the lineup. And I thought to myself, we're going to date back to this one. We're going to look at this because I'm just playing the odds of Rob Thomson. Bryson Stott leading off, gets a couple hits. Base running blunder, and that stuff will hurt you against better opponents. Because if you think about the inning where the Phillies punched back, and it was nice, and they had Bryson Stott's back, but for him to go to second to third and to get thrown out at third the way that he did, just stupid baseball. It's not thinking. And you can see the big-time difference between who the Cincinnati Reds are and the New York Mets. Now, part of this brand and part of this identity was always going to be hiccups and bad thinking errors. So that's definitely molded within the 2022 Phillies before first pitch even happened to start the entire season. But if you want to inch your way closer to a serious contender, if you want to move yourself closer to the New York Mets, a division leader of any sort, that type of stuff is unacceptable. And good teams pounce on that. Today, though, and for this upcoming series, and even after the Mets this weekend in the 4-game set, you open back up with some disaster teams, that's what's in front of you. So maybe if you don't get all the timely hits, you can still survive. And you throw David Robertson in there. You throw yourself Seranthony Dominguez. And, of course, Joey Votto doing whatever the hell Joey Votto is doing. Well, of course, you can squeeze by. But seriously, him first pitch swinging the way that he was, does he care about the sport of baseball? I know he cares about baseball. That's not fair to ask. I think you all understand where I'm coming from, though, which is, in what universe does that really go down? Seems like he's collecting his paychecks. He's getting his payday. He's going into the locker room every day, and he's seeing that. Yeah, it's good. That's good. When the hell is this season over? It would be nice to actually watch him contend on a real squad because he's a hell of a personality. He's a hell of a damn player, but he's always stuck in the nonsense. And it would be nice to actually get to appreciate him. But for this series, I don't want to appreciate him whatsoever. I just want to see the Phillies win. And I'm sure it felt good, like a big breath of fresh air when they finally saw someone cross home plate. because you knew there was some stigma surrounding that. I want to get to Rob Thomson's decision on keeping Noah Syndergaard in the game when he allowed that home run to make the game a one-run game. I got zero problems with it. I love the second after manager that's screaming at the top of their lungs that Rob is an idiot for doing that. Look at his pitch count. Look at how sharp he was pitching. Everything was great. There were zero issues, seriously, for a long period of time. In what world would you not give Noah Syndergaard that pushback on the mound? And I thought Rob grabbed him at the right time. But please, you can't just wait for something to happen and then feel that, oh, I knew it. No, you didn't. You'd be the first to bitch and complain if Rob took him out of the game and they had to go with a Jose Alvarado, who then starts walking guys, and maybe he doesn't have the greatest command in the world, and maybe the cutter isn't being the cutter you want it to be. Oh, how come you didn't keep Thor in? His pitch count was so low. Who is he, Gabe Kapler? What is this, the Aaron Nola effect again? Trust me, I've seen it all, and sometimes I just crack up. But all right, he told somebody who is starting to get accustomed to this team, starting to get accustomed to what this organization is teaching him, and he's pitching his best baseball you've seen in this uniform. Rob Thomson's been excellent, and I'm going to trust his judgment in all areas of the game until proven otherwise. And I actually love the fact that he looked right at him in the eye and said, yeah, go ahead. You're going. You're going. Now, I don't know if he specifically did that, but him allowing Thor to take the steps and enter the game again is him basically doing that. Yeah, of course. And then when he allows the homer, all right, you did everything we asked you to do. I didn't think we were going to get that early on, though. Let's be real. Saw some hits happen. The Reds strike first, knowing that the Phillies struggled the way that they did against the Mets to score, playing from behind. Not easy. It starts to wear you down. You're always thinking about it. You're squeezing the bats too tight. And they were doing that when they saw Max Scherzer. They were doing that when they saw Jacob deGrom. That makes sense, though. I wish you would attack, and not have that fear. But when you know who that is and what they can do to you, of course, there's only so much you can do. Your natural emotions take over. So you hold the bat too tight and think that every chance you have to do something bigger than you do instead of just taking what is there and what is available, which then causes rolling the ball over, and now here's a ground out, or turning two, and now it's an easy double play ball, or you just don't base run the way you should. Mike Minor isn't that. And I feel after so many games in a row and sort of that outside convo about what's going on with this team, and there was a time earlier this year where this was a common trend. Maybe we get Bryce Harper back soonish, and Dave Dombrowski spoke as a DH. They're hoping for September 1st as a realistic date. Here's what I love and why I'm so confident about him being back soon. Let's put yourself in Bryce Harper's shoes. He posted an Instagram video today of taking batting practice. He's come a long way since the tee, and the tee wasn't too long ago, so I wasn't feeling great when I saw that he was just still hitting balls off the tee. What? That's it? He won't be back for a while. They're playing games with you. They're toying with your heart. Now you see he's already taken BP. But he's posting videos with music in the background that is fun, loose, exciting. Gonna have a good day as he's taking cuts. If he didn't feel good afterwards, if he felt sore, if something was bothering him, you just stay away. You're not going to publicly put yourself in the light and make sure that everybody in the fan base starts to talk and get a little bit of an excitement and some joy because they feel you're going to be back on the diamond soon. You would stay behind closed doors. You would have a discussion with someone behind the scenes about how it didn't go as great. The last thing you do is be pumping out content on your Instagram story. So no doubt there's a reason why this team might not be as effective as you want them to be when there's a man on second. Sometimes there's no excuses though, right? How many first and second 0 outs are we talking about? Well, over the little bit of games here, and I know I'm referencing a little bit more of what we were talking about with the Mets, but seriously, you're a Major League Baseball team and a damn good one. Barrel it up. Don't strike out. Castellanos gave us 1 RBI, which I won't look down upon. But late in the game, maybe insurance is a big factor. You can see the catcher setting up as soon as he drops his fingers. They don't drop fingers anymore. As soon as they have their little R2-D2 sort of message sending to the hat, to the earpiece. Sets up outside. It's going to be a slider. It's going to be an off-speed pitch. They're not even competitive at-bats when he looks off. He did get an RBI. He did get an RBI. But still, it doesn't make it any easier. It brings me back to the Ryan Howard days. Even though Ryan Howard got way more hate than he deserved, I don't even think I need to start going back and forth on the difference in Ryan Howard's career and where Nick Castellanos is right now. 856-442-9805. That is the phone number if you want to share your thoughts on the Anytime Hotline. We'll take some calls in just 1 second. There's also a text message here asking about Kyle Schwarber. This is from Martin in West Philly. When do you believe Schwarber returns? I don't know exactly where he's at with this calf. There is a part of me that is thinking it's possible, and maybe I'm reaching a little bit, but I don't know. Let's talk about it and hear me out here. They play Cincinnati. Do they feel that they can get by without putting pressure on his body? He has pinch hit for this team recently, so you know that is possible. And it is something where if you're in desperation mode and maybe there's a good matchup on the mound, or even if there's a poor matchup on the mound, you still think you might take your shot with one of your best power bats you have, and one of the best power bats in the league, too. Let's throw that in there. You can get by with the Reds. You have an off day on Thursday, and then you see the Mets for 4 games with a doubleheader on Saturday. Do they value that 4-game set so much that maybe they're being very cautious? Maybe a little too cautious. If this was the different series, if this was the Braves, is he playing right now? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe the answer is no. I'm definitely not ruling that out. I think it's very possible the answer could be no. Seeing a weaker team, though, I wouldn't be stunned if they thought, we could win. Let's not worry about it. Stott could be fine. He'll get on base. The dude is a tough AB every time. If I'm a pitcher, while there's a lot more I could be afraid of, whether it's Rhys Hoskins, whether it's JT, who crushed one today, Bryson Stott is a motherfucker to play against. That's your perfect description if you think of a one-on-one matchup. There was nothing worse than when I was playing college hockey. I'm going in the corner. Someone forechecks the puck into my corner. I'm looking over my shoulder as I'm going back, knowing they're going to pressure me. They're going to hit me. I'll probably get a couple cross checks. It's annoying. I'll be able to power, turn, and use my body and make a nice outlet pass tape to my winger. All right, let's not act as if I can't get that job done. But, you know, it's like, all right, dude, I don't feel like dealing with this. That's what's happening upstairs. No, come on. Dump it in the other corner. Well, Stott, pitch after pitch, fouling pitches off, seeing pitches, working the entire part of the plate. I wish Castellanos could cover more part of the plate. I used to think that would be something we'd love and we'd appreciate. He is hard to play against. He will make you earn it. He could cover so much. Look at his bat. Look at the way that he can utilize all of the play, inside, outside, middle. We're going to be seeing home runs all over the place. Come on. Sometimes it's hard for me to even believe it. I'm shaking my head as his walk-up music is happening if it's a home game at Citizens Bank Park. Here's my gut feeling, though, and we would love this, all of us. Wild card series, game 2. Two men on, one out. Pimp job. Nicholas Castellanos. Just spitballing. 856-442-9805. If you are looking to buy tickets to go to any event out there, you can utilize promo code BROADS at SeatGeek's checkout page for $20 off. That gets you all of those fees eliminated. Free parking, free booze, however you want to think about it. But get yourself to a game. It's a no-brainer. SeatGeek, promo code BROADS. All right, let's take our first call here on the Anytime Hotline.
Let's talk about Seranthony Dominguez. I mean, when Knebel was having troubles early in the year, we said Seranthony needs to be our closer. And ever since he's been moved in that spot, man, is he filthy. 100 down at the bottom of the zone, hitting knees, hitting corners, and then that slider just disappears. And I don't know what he even threw today. Was that a changeup down and in? A cutter down and in? I don't even know what it was. But, man, is that guy nasty. I'm glad he's on our team. We don't got to hit against him. I just want him to keep doing his thing because he looks incredible. Thanks, bros.
He absolutely does look incredible. I remember cutting highlights for Broads Media's Twitter account during spring training, and I'm watching his slider, I'm watching his velocity, and I definitely thought that he could return from the surgery that he did have, and he's been off of baseball for quite some time. He was almost lost in the sauce and someone you just completely forgot about. You knew he was there, and of course you remember everything, but it was a long process. It's a tough journey to return from. So, I did think it was possible, and maybe just thinking more of it's an arm, it's a bullpen arm. I didn't know if we'd see this form. Once I saw spring training, I started to believe more. I'm like, whoa, this looks different. This zip is sensational. It almost looks like he didn't skip a beat. And now he's transformed into probably my most reliable arm in my eyes. Him and David Robertson are the two that I feel great when it's a one-run game or a two-run game and Rob Thomson's picking up the phone and you see those guys in the pen. And sometimes you think, Alvarado, you're really biting your fingernails down to the core. Even now, you still are. Let's be honest. I mean, it's still in there, and it will probably show its ugly head again. So it's there. But yeah, Seranthony is sharp as hell, and nothing amps me up like a Seranthony Dominguez slider. And I love his cockiness, too, whenever he strikes somebody out. He's laughing. You got no shot in hell. Triple digits. Triple digits. Let's take our next call here on the Anytime Hotline.
Hey, bros. Malcolm from Georgia. Just want to say you're doing a great job on the best show ever. Great win by the Phillies tonight, although it was too close for my comfort against the Reds. Good to see Syndergaard go 7 strong, although in the beginning, the first and second innings, they were rocking him, and I thought, oh, boy, what a night. But he settled down and hit some strong ball, and if we can get that out of him going forward, that'll be a plus. By the way, he did get those 6 strikeouts. Good to see Sosa come up in the field and with the bat. That was a pleasant surprise. And then on the back end, Robertson and Seranthony coming in and shutting it down when it got tight there. That was a good sign. I think a bit of irony that I had, too, was in the top of the 6th with bases loaded and Castellanos up. The way he argued that outside pitch that he was called a strikeout as far as it was being close, with all the pitches that he done swung at way outside, it was kind of a bit ironic that he was going to argue that pitch was outside, but it was there.
That's funny, though. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. It's like, hey, Nick, that's the pitch that you're poking at and you're flailing at and you're one hand through the zone because you realize, damn it, I'm totally lost on this one. As you're going through your swing, you swing at all the time, and now you're utilizing your energy on the baffling thought that was in your head, if that all makes sense. But, yeah, look, a lot to unpack. Thank you so much for the kind words about the best show ever. If you don't know what he's talking about with the 6 strikeouts, today we saw that the over-under for Syndergaard strikeouts was 5.5, and that sounded a bit too high. So normally when it's an easy under, or it could be an easy over, not this one. This one was the obvious easy under. When you see those bets, though, it's almost as if Vegas is telling you something. That's strange. Bet the over. Why would it be that high? They see something. Why would it be that high? They know something. Pound the over, and you got yourself 6 strikeouts with Noah Syndergaard's work. Crazy. One thing I wanted to see out of him was, so he pitched both times at home, and there's just something to be said about it's a new team. There's a lot of newspaper articles and blogs and sports talk radio and just a lot going towards your name and your outing. Get away from that. Go to a different ballpark. Don't worry about it. Those fans aren't in the stands. You're not in South Philadelphia. It's a getaway thing. Just breathe, be you. He eventually got to that. And I look at it more of, with the way Suarez pitched and the way Kyle Gibson's been giving it for you, Thor's your 5. Thor is your 5. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see him getting a chance over those two. Those two are probably fighting it out for number 3. Whoever doesn't win, that's number 4. And then Noah Syndergaard's your 5. Take away the name Noah Syndergaard. And I think that's what everyone remembers is triple digits, high 90s. Him and Jacob deGrom, the super long blonde hair up in Queens. We can't associate the acquisition when you trade Mickey Moniak for another starter to help you out to eat innings so you're not using Falter as much. Ironically enough, he's going to be pitching this weekend in the doubleheader with Noah Syndergaard in the other game. But he's here to get you through a professional 6 innings quality start. 7+ innings if he can get there. So it's not Christopher Sanchez. And with that thought, there's going to be balls that are hit hard. There's going to be singles. There's going to be doubles roped. Especially early, because it takes him a while to get comfortable. And there's a whole change you have to make when you're supposed to be a power guy and you lose it, and now your whole game has to totally be tweaked. Things at 99, 98, you can't get away with at 94. And that's been the story of Aaron Nola for a while. It's not only fastball command and trying to get cute and nibble around the zone, but he didn't have the stuff where if you make a little bit of an oopsie, you're 5 miles per hour added to what you're throwing now, you can get away with it. A little sigh of relief when JT Realmuto throws the ball back. So knowing you're used to playing one way and now it all goes in a different way, there's going to be ups and downs and bumps throughout that journey to get back to something that is manageable. The numbers haven't been bad since being here. The eye test is more like it, though. You could talk about 6 and change earned runs, so you're involved in games. Keep the team involved. Your 5th starter. Don't get beat. Don't get overworked. Don't get crushed. Give us the average. And if you're giving us the average, this team's in a fine position. But I like the road game aspect. I think maybe that allowed him to be more in a groove. I want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with me. New to the channel, hit that subscribe button and thumbs up button as well. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys all so much, and I will catch you on the